Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness Review. What's it really worth? Star Ocean is an action role-playing video game developed by Tri-Ace and published by Square Enix. And today, I'm going to be doing a full review of the game and give you my thoughts on what was good, what was bad, and what I think this game is really worth. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness was released on June 28, 2016 for the PS4. It is set on the planet Faithlessness, 6,000 years from Earth. You play as Fidel and his childhood friend Mickey and many others who choose to involve themselves in their home planet's civil war. Now let's break this game down and see what it's all about. Graphics. This is definitely one of my favorite looking games on the PS4. The colors, the lighting, the environment, the monsters, the characters, honestly they all look really good. It runs at a 1080p 60 frames per second. And like this game just looks really good. I honestly just like sitting there and walking through the cities and the maps and just looking at all the environment. I think it's mainly because of the colors they chose. I find it brought the game more life to it. It was just a really good color scheme. Music. The music was fantastic. Motoi Sakuraba did a great job on it. Every area had a different tone to it, but they were wonderful to listen to. Harps, violins, pianos were played when you were in town, but then when you were in the open world fighting monsters, they add some bass to it to make it feel a little different. The only complaint I had was when you actually fought monsters, the music didn't change too much. They would take the music that was playing already, then just add a guitar to it or more fast-paced bass to amp up the feeling. But for me, it didn't sound or feel right. But I didn't mind too much because everything else was great. The voice acting for characters I enjoy as well. Don't have any problems so far, and I enjoy how when they talk to each other they use the body language as well to make it seem more realistic. Story. I'll try to explain the story as best as I can. It's not too hard to understand, but you never know. The story is about first contact with alien life. You play as Fidel and his childhood friend Miki and many others that choose to involve themselves in their home planet's civil war, and along the way discover a bigger problem. Technologically advanced beings from another world have landed on their planet and are using it for nefarious purposes. Along the way, Fidel gathers a band of scientists, soldiers, and space pilots as he tries to rescue a mysterious little girl named Relia. I haven't completed the whole game yet, but so far, I enjoy the story. Content. So for content, there's not too much in this game, considering it's a JRPG. You pretty much just have the campaign. Now, the campaign I've seen is around 25 to 30 hours, which isn't too bad, depending on what difficulty you play it on and how many side quests you get done. But that's about it. But I'll get more into it during the game in the next gameplay section. Gameplay. The gameplay. Yes. So there's quite a lot I gotta talk about in here. But first, I'm gonna be honest and say that this is the very first Star Ocean game I have ever played. And so far, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Now, doing this review, I knew that people who aren't new to the series might not be able to follow my review as much, since I can't base this game off of any other of the previous titles that I haven't played. But I'm going to do my best. Now, this game brings me back to old school RPGs where you run around finding quests from villagers, slaying enemies in fields, and having to actually go to save points instead of where you wanted. In the menu screen, you have items that you can use to help your team, skills that you teach your team to make them stronger, and that you can level up with shards you pick up from chests and defeating enemies. Roles where you can change or add specific roles to each character, such as an attacker, defender, healer, mage, etc. and each character can have up to 4 roles that they can equip to make them better. Equipment to equip gear like swords and staffs and such. Creation, where you can make your own items instead of buying them. And resources that keep track of the enemies and trophies you've gotten. Now the combat kind of reminds me of the Tale series, but there's no quick battle change to a different scene and less combos. It's like Final Fantasy XII, where you run around the map to see an enemy and just go in and fight. No transition needed in between. But for the combat, that might be the only thing I don't like too much. You run into a swarm of enemies and attack with a 2-hit weak or strong combo. You can mix them up, but with there only being 2 hits, there's not a lot there. You can hold the X or O button to charge up your skill that does more damage, but I find you rely on that more than the actual normal attack. And that kind of sucks, considering every time you use a skill, you use MP. And if you're doing that every battle, it runs out kind of fast. When you get further in the game, get more characters, it's a little easier and you don't have to rely on it as much. But still, it would have been that much better to make it a 4-hit combo for each weak and strong attack, just to add a little more depth to it. The world map is a good size for an RPG and looks great, but having enemies all grouped together instead of on paths walking around the map is kind of strange. Would have made more sense to have them doing their own thing instead of just being grouped up together and having to fight 4 to 6 enemies at a time. Alright, so now let's get down to the final verdict on what I think this game is really worth. So for the PS4 in the US, it's $60, and in Canada it's $80. So for everything you get, great, beautiful, colorful graphics, music is wonderful and relaxing, combat could be better, a 25 to 30 hour campaign, skills and role system offer a great layer of strategy, enemy placement kind of odd, and not a bad story. So like I said in the gameplay section, this is the very first Star Ocean game I've ever played, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Now that being said, people who aren't new to this series, it's hard to do a review for that, considering this could be the actual worst one in the series, and I wouldn't actually know, not have played any of the previous ones. Now from experience in playing a lot of games and a lot of new games that are coming out in the RPG, JRPG, genre, I find that they aren't as good as they used to be. So this game probably isn't the best one out of the series. But regardless, if you're new like myself, I really enjoyed it, and I had no problem with it, and I plan on playing through the whole thing. And if I still like it all the way through, then I would definitely give the previous ones a chance, which will probably end up being actually better. So for my final verdict, I honestly think that the US and Canada, regardless of being $60 to $80, you got a good price for it. Now, if you're not new to the series, then I would have to say hold on. Maybe wait till it goes down about $50 and then pick it up. Because I don't know if it's actually good or bad than the previous Star Ocean games. But like I said, since this is the very first one I played, anyone that is new to the series and has never played it before, I would recommend it. I enjoyed it, and I definitely believe that you would enjoy it too. Alright guys, well I'm going to end my review there of Star Ocean, Integrity, and Faithlessness. Faithlessness, I think that's what it's called. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you played the game, let me know in the comment section below what you think of it. And if you're not new to the series, give me your thoughts on the review, if it's actually better than the previous ones or if it's not. Because I honestly would like to know, and which one is the best one. Because I like this game, and like I said, I want to give this series a chance and maybe play an actual really, really good one. So let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to my channel, I'll put my logo on the screen so you can click on that, see what I'm all about, and like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the game in my commentary, and make sure to check out some other stuff too. You know what you gotta do, you know how to do it. Peace out, guys. Good as everything else did in the game. Music. So first, I found the sound effects for the bikes could have been better. Some of the time they sounded like lawnmowers. And for the